Every once in a while, an innovation comes along that revolutionizes an industry. For drywall finishing, that innovation is called the DeWall Mudmaster. The Mudmaster was developed by a drywall finisher for drywall finishers, and it pinpoints the repetitive and grueling parts of the job, simplifying and automating them. As a result, the DeWall Mudmaster saves money and injury claims for contractors, as well as time, cleanup, and reoccurring back and shoulder pain for taping crews. For drywall finishers, the DeWall Mudmaster takes the hard work and agony out of mixing, tool loading, and spraying. In fact, the DeWall Mudmaster is the only machine on the market that mixes, fills all the tools, and sprays. In other words, built to be used throughout the entire finishing process. In the next few minutes, we'll give you a test drive of the most remarkable drywall tool you'll ever meet, the DeWall Mudmaster. The DeWall Mudmaster is not messy like conventional mixing. The entire staging area for conventional mixing is littered with mud and water, which can be slip and fall areas on your construction site. Cleanup is a never-ending hassle, and discarded mud and dirty water are far from being environmentally friendly. With a DeWall Mudmaster, the entire mixing process is contained. Mud that is crusted and hardened around the rim of the patented mixing system can be recycled, and dispensing of the mud is controlled, minimizing unsightly messes. If you float a little water on top of the mud, it can be left in the Mudmaster indefinitely. The patented mixing bearingless beater assembly is designed to gently fold the mud without aerating it at 50 to 60 rounds per minute. Overmixing is at a minimum per mud manufacturer's recommendations. The Mudmaster provides smooth, nearly perfect mud every time. Approximate mud to water proportions are clearly printed on the control panel, which you may adjust to manufacturer's brand and batch. The mud's consistency will be exactly the way you want it, regardless of your task. The extremely mobile DeWall Mudmaster is much more convenient than conventional mixing. The Mudmaster is perfectly balanced on flat-free tires, so it moves with you to wherever you need mud mixed, tools loaded, or sprayed. This eliminates the hauling heavy buckets everywhere you need to be. And since Mudmaster functions so quickly, it's at its peak efficiency and money-saving best when 1 to 4 drywall finishers are sharing it at any given time. Conventional mixing is also time-consuming. Mud is easily mixed with the DeWall Mudmaster, and less time and less effort means more profit on a project and much more productive workforce. Beyond productivity, the Mudmaster is also more worker-friendly than the painful conventional mixing and taping approach. Example, when applying 20 500-foot rolls of tape, a finisher may mix 20-plus boxes of mud and pump 1,000 strokes on a manual pump. Not only is this unpleasant and unproductive, but it's painful.
Now you can see here he's mixing the mud. Now there's a couple things going on. One, he's still in this flexed posture, hurting his back. Now to get this mixed up, he's going to have to do this over and over and over. He's compromising his shoulders, his elbows, his wrists. These are all going to cause cumulative trauma disorders.
If you were to compare the amount of effort and wear and tear on your body when mixing the conventional way versus the DeWall Mudmaster, well, there's no comparison. One of the most marvelous benefits of the DeWall Mudmaster is that it transforms the drywall finisher's most taxing and time-consuming functions into productive work. This is particularly true when loading finishing tools and moving to new areas. The DeWall Mudmaster is designed to fill and dispense to auto tapers, angle tools, and boxes in seconds, giving drywall finishers additional time and energy for the more productive work. While the Mudmaster mixes the next batch of mud, the finisher is continuing production. Traditionally, one of the biggest spraying challenges for drywall finishers is maintaining a consistent flow of mud without the pump sucking air so that textures can be applied evenly. That's not a problem with the Mudmaster. Its rotor-stator pump and beater combo make it a true production machine, and the 10-speed control setting assures precise spraying every time. The DeWall Mudmaster sprays textures evenly with pole or pistol-type guns with a 5.5 horsepower gas torpedo compressor, working at their peak efficiencies, whether for fine spraying, knockdown, or acoustic dispensing. Perhaps one of the greatest benefits to the DeWall Mudmaster is not what you can do with it, but what you don't have to do with it. You don't have to clean up like you would with conventional mud mixing buckets. Dry and caked mud inside the tank can be scraped into the mix and used. And since everything is contained, drying is minimized because of the covered bucket and dispensing areas. Since spraying hoses keep the mud moist, hoses need to be cleaned only periodically, and you'll only need to clean the unit occasionally. Transporting your DeWalt Mudmaster is as easy as pushing a shopping cart. Since most of the parts are made from durable yet lightweight 6061 T6 aluminum, the Mudmaster weighs in at around 100 pounds. Large flat-free tires and the Mudmaster's precise balance means you can effortlessly move it from spot to spot on the job or from job to job. Always transport the Mudmaster in the upright position. Every DeWalt Mudmaster comes with a 1-year electrical and mechanical warranty. Mudmaster will replace or repair the part without charge, subject to terms of the warranty. This warranty covers all normal uses. Visit the Mudmaster website or read the printed materials for further details. Whether mixing mud, filling tools, or spraying, never before has a single machine done so much for drywall finishing. If you're a contractor or drywall finisher who desires to maximize productivity while minimizing effort, the DeWalt Mudmaster is for you. Contact us for a dealer near you. Mixing is unbelievably easy with the DeWalt Mudmaster. Turn both the speed control and the remote to off, and then plug into the power source. Then, prepare to mix by facing the front of the machine. Firmly grasp the mixer motor with the right hand. Raise the cover to the slot in the handle located on your right. Pivot the cover into the slot. With the beater in the tank, empty 1 carton of drywall mud into the tank. Next, pivot the cover back into position. Remember, don't force the cover down. Turn the speed control on and off until the cover is resting on the tank and beater begins to turn. Turn the mixer on and allow it to run several seconds to initially mix the mud. See the water guide for suggestions. Add water to your desired consistency. After you add your mix and while you're off stringing tape, the Mudmaster continues to mix and prepare the mud for the next filling. Turn the mixer off when mud and water are completely mixed. You are now ready to dispense. Mudmaster fills boxes and angle tools with the turn of a dial with no manual pumping. Loading finishing tools is no longer a pain with the DeWalt Mudmaster. Special attachments allow you to automate much of the job. Our quick change attachment system, unique only to the Mudmaster, screens the mud before entering the tool. When preparing to load tools, insert the screen into the desired attachment, then connect it to the outlet tube. Then turn the speed control to the desired delivery speed. You'll notice that your mud is smooth and creamy and easily dispensed. Remember that the mixer always runs when dispensing, and prevent accidents by always turning the machine off when returning unused mud to the machine. Filling the automatic taper has never been easier. As you normally would, place the taper on the gooseneck. Next, attach the Mudmaster remote to the panel, setting the toggle switch to the on position. Set the speed control to the desired fill speed. Simply place the remote in the end of the automatic taper and press it lightly to fill. When full, the remote will pop out and the Mudmaster will stop filling and mixing. Effortless, you bet. Many hand textures use the mud quite thin. Loading the pan requires pouring the mud from a bucket to the pan. Not so with the DeWalt Mudmaster. Simply pump it into your pan like ice cream. Spray texturing is easy with the DeWalt Mudmaster. With a material hose attached, simply attach the air hose and remote cord to the machine. Attach the air hose to your compressor and set the control panel remote toggle switch to on. Then, turn the switch at the gun to off, setting the speed control to your desired delivery speed. Turn on the switch at the gun to spray. You're on your way to spraying perfection. When it's time to clean the DeWalt Mudmaster, here's all you do. Disconnect the machine from your power source. Disconnect the mixer power cord from the control panel. Remove the cover and beater and protect the motor from direct spray and wash with water. Wash the beater and wash the exterior of the machine, being careful to protect the pump motor and the control panel. A side note, if you float a little water on top of the mud, it can be left in the Mudmaster indefinitely. Tip the machine forward on the base stand and tank to allow the tank to drain while you're washing the interior. Since the wet taping mud actually acts as pump lubricant, you can leave the mud in the pump and the pump inlet at the bottom of the tank. Remember to always dispose of the mud properly. When storing your Mudmaster for a few weeks or less, leave the mud in the pump exit tube. For extended storage periods, clean the machine thoroughly. Flush the pump and exit tube with water until the water is clear. Mix Mudmaster pump lube with water, circulating it through the pump, pouring off the excess. This reusable lubricant may be purchased online from Mudmaster. Since much of the Mudmaster was created in modules, it can be quickly disassembled and parts can be replaced easily. Call Mudmaster for parts replacement. Thanks to Mudmaster's durability, maintenance is generally not necessary for the first 2 to 3 years. When it is time for maintenance, simply grease the wheels and remove the front stand cover to grease the chain. Adjust the chain by loosening the 4 motor bolts. Adjust the motor by sliding it to the desired position. The chain should be snug but not tight. Never before has the drywall industry experienced a single machine that can do so much to make a drywall finisher's life easier and make a job go so smoothly. Whether mixing, filling, spraying, cleaning up, maintaining, or operating the machinery, you're going to love the Drywall Mudmaster.